So in this video, I'm going to teach you folks how to do something a little different than what I usually do in my videos. I'm going to teach you how to use boxing wraps to make a soft brace for your wrist. So I have an old injury with my wrist where I did a stoppie off my bike and I injured my wrist. And so once in a while, if I do some strenuous work and I sprain my wrist, it gets really bad. I have a lot of pain. And pain is your friend. So you've got to pay attention to pain. If you have pain, that means there's something wrong. So address it. Don't ignore pain. Don't just take painkillers. Address the issue. In this case, my ligaments are kind of worn in this wrist, and ligaments are very much like rubber bands. So they are wear and tear. And once they go, they go. So you want to take care of your ligaments. You want to take care of your wrists. You want to address any sprains immediately. So this technique makes it very easy to do so with just boxing wraps. So the first thing that you want to do is get your hand in the ideal position. So this is a good angle here to show you. You don't want your hand like this, nor do you want your hand like this. You want it nice and lined up with the rest of your arm. Also, the most natural position for your wrist, or I should say wrists, is like this, having this little angle here where it leads off. I'm gonna just try to rotate my hand so you can get a better idea. My arm is looking very chubby right now, or I should say my wrist is looking very chubby right now because I've had it wrapped up and the skin is a little swollen there. So anyway, so make sure you have your hand in line with your forearm, that you don't have it twisted either way, and have it in the most natural position. Now, when you're doing the wraps, when the wraps settle, your hand will come down. So if you want, push it a little past that point. This would be good while you're doing the wraps. So then just get it like back here, and then rotate and just make sure you have it in line, and then you can get started. So the first thing you want to do, which the same premise applies for when you're doing boxing wraps, is that you want to get this little loop around your thumb. And if some people want, I can also teach you how to do, how to actually use this if you're going to put on a boxing glove. The actual purpose that this is for, I could also do a video on that. So what I like to do is, again, just confirm, have your hand in line with the forearm, so have it straight, and I'm gonna push my hand back beyond the natural position, just because when I finish with the wraps, it will settle and come forward. So you want it to be snug, but not too snug, because then you're gonna cut off circulation to your hand. So it's kind of hard, and the only way to really learn how to do it really well is with practice. So you just have to practice. If you do it too tightly, just remove it and put it back on. If it's too loose and your hand can move too much, then you have to put it a little tighter. But it's just through experience you'll find the right feel for yourself. So I like to go 3 or 4 times. I'm gonna go around 4 times. You're just gonna get like a cuff around your wrist, and then once you have that going on, and of course, these things always tangle, which is part of it. You want to alternate. So now that I have gone 4 times around my wrist, remember to keep your wrist aligned with your forearm, your hand, aligned with your forearm, and make sure you have that hand really far back there as you do this. You're not going to come over this way. You're going to come under your palm, and you're going to put it nice and snug here, but not too snug, because you don't want to cut off the circulation. And so just make sure that you keep unraveling this so that you have slack. And when you come in here, now you come around your wrists, and you go, and now you alternate. So you vary it between going around your wrist in a cuff and under the palm. So I'll just keep going. So now I'm going to come over my hand, go under my palm, and make sure you have it somewhat snug, not too snug, because you don't want to cut off your circulation. And now I go around my wrist, and I just keep alternating. It's pretty self-explanatory. But the idea is you want this fabric just snug enough, and so this is like the 6th time I do it this week, so I already have a feel for it. But if it's your first time, you're not going to get it right on the first try, I promise you that. But you just have to keep doing it until you get it right. So we just keep alternating, and as it builds up, you'll feel the pressure on your wrist. So you keep alternating, and of course the most difficult part about this thing is how it gets twisted up. So just make sure you get this all out first. I find it much easier if you just get it completely unraveled, but it also keeps getting raveled, or I don't know if that's a word. It keeps getting twisted as you apply it. So anyway, so we continue alternating between going around, and make sure that you continue to bring your hand back, because if you let go of your hand, it gets to a point that once you wrap it far enough, you'll feel that pressure of it holding your hand back. And so you'll want to let go. If you do that, that force will start moving the wrap or the fabric forward, and you'll lose that nice angle that you have for your wrist. So you just keep going. You keep alternating. And once you get close to the end, so I don't have that much left, right? Now you want to focus on just wrapping it around, like a cuff around your wrist. Don't do it anymore of alternating over here. Just focus on wrapping the end part here so that you can get this nice and snug. And so this final part, this never lines up here, the Velcro. So you always have to give it a nice pull. And you really want to get this Velcro to align, because if you don't, the Velcro will get on the fabric and it'll destroy the fabric. So you really want to get this Velcro to line up. You get a nice thing. So now you can see I have a really nice soft brace going on. It feels amazing. The best thing, the thing that I love the most about this method of using these boxing wraps is that you especially won't get any movement of the hand to the side. I mean, you can see I'm trying to move my hand, and you can see how snug it is. I definitely know that I put this on too snug. But if I leave it like this for a while, it'll actually loosen up, because as you keep wearing it, the fabric shifts, and sometimes it does get a little looser. But you can see right here already that I put it on a little too snug. I'm gonna leave it like this for now, because I just finished showering and I had it off for a while, so I want as much isolation and restriction of the joint as possible. So I'm gonna leave it like this for a while, but then I'll just undo it and I'll do the process over again. What I suggest is that this little loop, if you want to keep it on, no problem, do that. But I like to take it off and just wedge it down there like this, because what happens is as you wear this, it continues to shift, and that loop will start pulling on your thumb, and it becomes extremely uncomfortable. So once you have it set up, you use that to set it up to hold it in place. But once you have it set up, you can go ahead and remove it and put it there. You don't want to do that if you're using them as boxing wraps and you wrapped your whole hand and you're going to put it in a boxing glove. But what I really love about this is that it's really cheap and it's easy to wash and it's easy to do. And it does great isolation of the joint. You'll especially want to do this at night. So when you go to sleep, you want to make sure that you have this on, because when you sleep, most especially, that joint will flex and move, and that's actually where I ended up with the most pain. Is when I woke up the next day after I sprained it. I couldn't even move my hand from so much pain. And today's just day 3, and already the joint feels fine, but I'm gonna go past that. So, once your joint starts feeling better, once the wrist feels okay, don't stop. Keep wearing it. I'm gonna wear it because I sprained it very lightly. I'm gonna wear it for about 2 weeks, and it's so easy to wear. So go ahead and grab yourself these wraps, these Everlast wraps, and make sure you get the longer ones because they have 2 different sizes. They measure them, I believe, in centimeters. So just make sure that you get the longest size that they have available. But as I said, it works great. It gives you great isolation. It's machine washable. It's easy to wash. I wash them actually by hand. And then you just give them a nice squeeze and you line dry them if you want, or you could throw them in the dryer. You can wash them with clothing, but they end up getting tangled and they end up getting a lot of fuzz balls. So I suggest that you wash it at home. But anyway, it's a great soft brace that you can make at home anytime you want to. And it works really well, as you can see. And when you try it out for yourself, you'll see how great they are. And it's great because you can keep them in your sock drawer. And whenever you have a little wrist sprain, you throw them on. You use them depending on how serious the injury was for a few days or a few weeks. And then you have resolution of that sprain. And I also suggest if you have a more serious sprain than just a light sprain, because this is just a light sprain. But when I had the original injury, I actually ended up buying a 3M Ace brand brace, which comes with splints. So if you're looking for something, if you have you got a severe injury, massive injury to your wrist, and you're looking for the best brace that you can get for your wrist, that will be the 3M Ace brand wrist. It comes with 2 splints. It'll have a splint here, a metal splint that holds your hand in this position, and another splint on the back here that runs along through the back of your hand, and it's great. But as I said, this is best used for a light sprain. You want some isolation, this is it. So I hope this helped. If it did, please give it a thumbs up and share with your friends.